Hello, my wonderful reborn artists. It's Paige here, and in today's video we're going to be gluing eyelashes on our reborn baby. We're also going to be sealing her and glazing her little tootsie toes and nails and lips. So I used the lashes from Irresistible Doll Kits, and the glue I'm using today is nail glue. You also will need a pair of tweezers and your rooting pillow. You can get these rooting pillows off of Etsy, and I'll put the link in the description box below. So this nail glue is brand new nail glue, and I would recommend that you try using the brand new nail glue, because nail glue can get hard and get dried out if you don't use it all the time. So I just apply the glue to the lashes, just little dots of glue, and you could probably use super glue. I'm pretty sure that's the same stuff. And then using your tweezers, apply it to the rim of the eye. So I use glass eyes, and I would recommend that you use glass eyes as well for my reborns. And I just apply that those lashes to the rim of the eye, but also onto the eye itself. So basically you're gluing the lashes right underneath the eyelid onto the glass eye. You'll see what I mean when you go to do your reborn. It's actually very easy to do, and then use your tweezers to press it into place. And the effect is just absolutely just darling for these little reborn babies. I root my eyelashes. Typically I'll root them, and if I'm having a blonde baby though, I like to use the fake ones, because I don't want to use blonde eyelashes. You could use dark eyelashes on your reborns. It really depends on the look that you prefer, and so I do both depending on the baby that I'm working on. This particular baby is Shannon. Her name is Shannon from Ann Timmerland, and so I'll link that in the description box below. And I really love this kit. She's so extremely adorable. And just glue that in place. Now, one thing that I'm going to do in just a few minutes is I'm going to use a toothpick to get those lashes pressed right where they need to go. So you can use your tweezers or a toothpick, but you need to press them into place and hold them tight with a toothpick until they dry a little bit so they don't pop off, because the glue takes a minute or so to dry. And she's just gonna look absolutely darling with her new lashes. Make sure the corners of the lashes are touching the corner. And there you have it, her sweet little lashes. Doesn't she look so cute? Next, we're going to be sealing our baby Shannon. And I don't know if you've noticed her skin. It's very, very fair. I'm only sealing her arms and her legs because I've already sealed her head. Before you root your baby or do her hair, you want to seal the baby. Oh, first, before we seal our baby, we're going to apply the glaze over her lips to make her lips look moist. I applies Aleene's paper glaze to her lips and to her nostrils. And I'm showing you these brushes because I got these brushes with one of my paint by number kits, and they're really inexpensive, cheap brushes. The Aleene's paper glue or glaze is water soluble, and so you can wash your brushes afterwards, but I prefer to use some inexpensive disposable brushes for this step. I don't want to use my good brushes to use the glaze. And now her lips will look wet. And we also want to apply some of that paper glaze to the corners of her eyes and inside her nostril, her nose, inside of her nose, so that her nose has that realistic, like, wet look to it. So inside of her little nose, and I'm just dipping it right out of the bottle. So you just need a little bit, and the paper glaze is air dry. Just takes a little while to dry. Also, I got her headband. I don't know if you noticed her headband, but I got her headband off of Etsy as well. We're just putting a tiny, tiny bit of the paper glaze in the corner of her eyes. Next, we're adding a matte sealer to our reborn. And like I said earlier, I've already sealed her head, so we're just doing her arms and her legs. And I'm using 3 to 4 dollops of the matte sealer medium. And I got this matte sealer from McPherson, so I will put that in the description box below. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the odorless thinner, just enough to help mix. And then we're going to add a touch of the Flesh O2, because little baby Shannon, she is very, very fair, and I think we need to warm her skin tone up a little bit. So I'm just mixing that into my palette, my flower palette. And we're just gonna mix and add a tiny bit of warmth to her vinyl, because she's super duper fair. And this is one thing that you will do as you become more familiar with painting reborns, is you'll determine at the end of the painting day or the end of your painting tutorials, you will find that your baby might be a little bit too red and you might want to neutralize her, or she might need to be warmed up a little bit, or her skin might be a little bit too fair. And so you'll add that last layer of color to your sealer, and just determining which color that your baby is what you will add. Or you can just use your matte sealer clear if you're happy with the way your baby looks. But my little baby, her skin is just too light And so I'm warming it up with the Flesh O2. And I'm also using a 1/2 inch flat brush that I got from the hobby store. It's not a fancy one, it's just a regular 1/2 inch brush. And I'm brushing that all over her vinyl. And then I'm going to use a sponge to pounce it off and blend it. If you do not blend your sealer really well, then your sealer will look a little bit dry and crusty, and you don't want that to happen. And so you need to make sure you blend and pounce to get all of the sealer blended perfectly. And I don't want the toenails. I got carried away and I got a little bit of the matte sealer on her toenails, but I want her toenails to be a little shiny, and so I just used a Q-tip to wipe off the toenails. But it's up to you, because we're going to be adding the glaze to her toenails after she bakes. When we are all done pouncing and blending the matte sealer on our little babies' arms and legs, then you will be baking in your new wave oven at 265 degrees for 8 minutes. And one thing that you may want to do is let it cool for 10 minutes and then bake one more time, just to make sure that this sealer is completely cured. And also do that for the head when you're putting the sealer on the head. Look how cute she looks. I also styled her hair using some Mohair spray and a little baby brush. So I'll be showing that in another video, how to style your baby's hair. Okay, we're just going to bake in our new wave ovens and let cool for 10 minutes. All right, now I'm using the Aleene's paper glaze for the fingernails and the toenails, and a disposable brush. I don't really like to use my reborn brushes for this step, even though this glaze is washable and you can clean your brushes. I like to keep my reborn brushes just for the painting with the Genesis Heat Set paints. And you're just applying the paper glaze to the nails and the toes. To give them a little bit of shine. And this glaze is an air dry glaze, and I get this glaze from Bountiful Baby. So I will link this in the description box below. Once you have painted her fingers and her toes, set her in a safe place to dry. Probably the drying rack would be best, or a nice fluffy soft towel. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to style your reborn baby's hair. If you have longer hair for your reborn, I use a Mohair like conditioning spray and a baby brush. And so what I like to do, because her hair got all messed up when I did her eyelashes, what I like to do is I spray it on and then use the brush to brush and style. And every time you, as you can see here, every time you get to the ends, flip it up. Flip it up around the edges, around her face. Dampen the hair with the Mohair spray. And then just give it a little flip with your soft baby brush. And I like to push her bangs to the side. It makes her look really super cute. The bangs brushed off to the side. And you can curl your baby's hair as much or as little as you want, but I like to have it a little, give it a little tiny flip on the ends. And then of course, put the baby headband on first, because once you put the headband on, you're gonna mess up her hair. So be sure to put the headband on first. And she's all set. Look how adorable she looks. Depending on what look you're going for, you could also add a few more curls in the back. Now her lips and her nails need to dry for at least an hour, because the Aleene's paper glaze takes a little while to dry. And then I'm just going to set her carefully on the table here and not bump her. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.